Hi, this is Jonathan Peters, and I'm one of the co-founders of Fast Bestseller. Today I want to talk to you about book publishers. Which one is right for you? Now, to be clear, at Fast Bestseller, we are big proponents of publishing your own book. At no other time in history has it been easier and cheaper to not only publish your own book, but to distribute your own book and to promote your own book successfully. But there are times when a publisher makes sense. For instance, once you're a celebrity, once you're very well known, your message is very popular, but you have, let's say, hundreds of thousands of people following you on social media, thousands of people every year seeing you speak. Once you're at that status, the big houses, what we call the New York houses, will take notice of you and want to publish your book. They'll reach out to you. Probably you might need an agent in that case to get that book published. But they want someone that they know is going to deliver. Because for the big houses, publishing has really changed their model. First of all, the price really hasn't gone up for books. We still expect a regular book to be between $20 and $30 range. Their costs have gone up, and so their margins have really shrunk. Well, and also demand's gone down. There's so many books out there, but people aren't reading any more than they ever did before. So for a big house, like say Random House, Simon & Schuster, Penguin Books, for them to take notice of you, you have to be recognized as bringing them money, as being successful in other ways, so a celebrity status, if you will. Now, outside of the big houses, there are niche houses or smaller publishing houses that do service a smaller market, maybe a niche market. For instance, associations will often have a publishing arm. So it might make sense for you if your book is targeted towards members of an association, it might make sense to work with an association to be published through them. That way your book gets known, gets distributed, gets promoted to a very, very select audience. So sometimes there are those publishers that serve a very narrow niche. They're good to get involved with. Maybe the margins aren't there, you might not be making as much on the sale of your books, and it's a good way to go sometimes. As is academic presses. Now, the nice thing about academic presses is they don't have that $30 cap when it comes to pricing for their book. So they're able to charge $100, $200, up to say maybe $500 for a textbook. So if you have a book that fits in that academic market, then it would also make sense to work with an academic press, because they're able to build in the margins they need to compensate you well and to market your book well. In fact, for the most part, the academic presses still have book reps that go out and meet with professors and talk with them and make suggestions to them. So that works. And by the way, also, if you once a professor takes your book and puts it in as part of the curriculum, now you will have sales for years to come. You can pretty much guarantee that you'll have those sales until the professor goes with a different book. So again, a good model to go with. Now we get into the realm of where there's a lot of scams and a lot of rip-offs, so you have to be careful. And that's where the version of what we used to call vanity press, and that's where you're paying someone else to publish your book. And this is a model that in the old days was looked down upon. These days it has a little bit more, I should say a little less negative stigma around it. So it's still an option, it's still a possibility, especially for a brand that's well established. So to be a part of that brand and to pay for the privilege to be a part of that brand, that is something that is worth looking at times. For instance, Chicken Soup for the Soul, a well-established brand, well, Chicken Soup, I guess. Chicken Soup brand is well-established. The founder spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, and money marketing and establish that as a brand. So if it makes sense for you, if it makes sense for your book to be associated with an established brand like Chicken Soup, maybe it's worth the money for you. Usually it isn't. I don't necessarily recommend it, and your market, your message may be different. So On the other side, a lot of companies look at the success of Chicken Soup and they take on that model and will sell you the idea that you should pay them to publish your book. Meanwhile, they don't have an established brand. They have not spent the marketing dollars. They have not put forth the effort to be established. Which also brings me to this very popular item right now where people who are in a hurry to get to press, maybe they don't really have much to say, but they want to be a published author, will often pay to be a part of a compilation book. And so there'll be 20, 30 authors in this book, and for the price of several $1,000s, you too can be a part of the book. Right now, to be clear, there are plenty of resources out there that will teach you how to publish your own book, to be self-published, and to promote your own book. You don't need these other companies. You don't need their help. So certainly, like here at Fast Bestseller, our goal is for you to have control of your own message and brand yourself, not 20 or 30 other people. And so having said that, let's say you really don't have much of a message. Your message is worth 1,000 words. Maybe 1,500 words is about the most you can do. Or you have more money than time. And so it's worth spending a lot of money to have a chapter in a book that didn't take you a lot of time to produce, and so now you're with a bunch of other folks. Or sometimes there's celebrity attachment, or usually in fact there's a celebrity attachment. Someone is being paid a lot of money to write a chapter so that all these other people in the book can say, I'm co-author with. Now that's all cool, it sounds good, maybe on your website I'm co-author with the celebrity, but in reality when the book gets out there, there's the celebrity's name, here's 20 or so other people that have paid to be there. So people catch on very, very quickly that you probably didn't even see this celebrity. They just wrote something or had someone else write it for them, they attached their name to the book, and you paid to be at that party. So it doesn't do a lot for your credibility in the long term. In the short term, it'll get you there quickly. You are now a published author with somebody of significance. So it's maybe a good first step if you got the money and not much time. But for the most part, it may not be the best route to go, especially if your goal is to be a bestseller and to be a recognized expert in your field. Okay, so to sum it up, the big houses, the big New York houses like Random House and so on, probably aren't going to pay attention to you until you're a celebrity. As you build that status, or in the meantime, there are other options for you. There are smaller presses that may bring you on, such as associations, or there's academic presses, which are also a good option. And then there's this whole other realm of publishers that may not be the best for you. Unless you have a lot of money, not a lot of time, and you want success, you want to be able to say you're a published author as quickly as possible. In those situations, ask, what is your return on investment? Are you going to get back what you're putting into it? My name is Jonathan Peters with Fast Bestseller, and we share this information with you because our goal is to make you a fast bestseller. So look at in the description below me here, see the link, click on that link, check out our free information. We have abundance of free information, paid programs you can be a part of, because it's all about you, your book, and the next steps in your career.